Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining me. It's Mr. Reality, joined by psychic medium, world-renowned remote viewer Liz Cross. Liz, how are you doing?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Always follow the Ko-Fi page at Reality Forecast if you want to know when my next course is. I was going to do an ARV course, but my back went out and I'm fighting my back right now. So as soon as I'm done fighting my back, we'll get back to normal scheduled ARV courses and tap courses, which are going to begin probably in the fall in just a few weeks. That'll be exciting. Liz, I've got an exciting one for you tonight. How much do you know about Taylor and Travis? Apparently they're engaged now. And so Taylor Swift is a famous singer. And Travis, he's a famous football player, but really that's all I know.
I don't know that much about them either. To be honest with you, I really don't.
Okay, that's where my knowledge ends. So I thought it would be fun to find out if there's like a past life connection between Taylor and Travis and how they really feel about each other and what's going on in their mind. What problems do they have?
Okay, yeah, sure. This will be fun.
Okay, let's talk to Taylor Swift. Hi, Taylor. How is she feeling today? What's on her mind?
She feels a little stressed as I tap into her energy. She is extremely stressed. She's got a lot going on, a
She's
lot
got a
of
lot going
planning
on, right?
going on.
What's the nature of
Mhm.
her stress?
What's the nature of your stress? I feel like she's something to do with business planning. Um, she's trying to put together something. And is it to do with music? Yeah, I feel like she's possibly working on a new album or trying to put a new album together, putting songs together. Yeah, she's mega stressed.
Okay, well, take a breath. It's okay. Just let it all out. Let's talk to Travis. How is Travis doing today?
Oh, he's doing very well. I mean, he's very relaxed. On top of the world. He just, he's low maintenance from what I can gather from his energy field. Like he doesn't give in to drama and he's just, yeah, he
Does
just,
he have anger management issues? Because he yelled at his coach on the sidelines last season, and I thought it was kind of out of character, and I was worried about Taylor.
hmm, do you have anger management issues? Sometimes, yeah, he can blow up. Yeah. Do you ever blow up at Taylor? No, no, he doesn't blow up at her. Um, he's on cloud nine with Taylor.
Okay,
He feels like the luckiest guy in the whole world.
right? Yeah, he's probably pretty excited. Let's go move back to Taylor, and I just wanted to know, let's move back in time for her, maybe a mind probe question about her teenage years as fame overtook her. How did she cope with that?
How did you cope with your teenage years when fame overtook? I mean, look, she's a very high energy person anyway, extremely determined. Um, she's just one of those people that just does, right? I mean, nothing really stands in her way, which is surprising that these two have ended up together because she is so highly strung energetically and he's not. I mean, they're complete opposites on the energy spectrum.
So, what did she feel when she first met Travis?
What did you feel when you first met Travis? Tingly.
It's okay. You can say it.
Tingly, yeah. She warm and tingly, like that warm tingly feeling.
And how long did that last? I mean, is it's so it's a true feeling of love and affection, or did it fizzle?
Is it a true feeling of I mean, she does love him. I wouldn't say she's in love with him. Okay. And I know when we probed her before, we got that, his feelings were stronger than her feelings. That's still the case. I do feel that. I feel that she's actually not a warm and fuzzy person. She may come across as warm and fuzzy, and she knows how to pose for the cameras, and she knows how to, what sells and what keeps her fans engaged in her life. But as I tap into her, she's not warm and fuzzy at all. She's very much a workaholic, and everything else comes after that.
And so there are critics that would say this relationship is more strategic than like a love romance. What would she say to that?
Ooh, this relationship is more strategic than a love romance. I mean, it just works. This is the one relationship that just works. Like, he lets her be successful, she lets him be successful. Each other's not competing for success. They're not trying to stifle each other's success. They're not being demanding of each other's time. Like, I don't want you to go on tour, or I don't want you to, be on the football field for hours every day and training every day. Like, they just leave each other alone in that regard. And then when they have time, they spend time together. And when they don't, they don't. But they don't, she's telling me a lot of her previous boyfriends would really start to demand a lot of her time. You're not going to get her time. You'll get small moments of her time, but she's not going to stop what she's doing to, for the sake of a relationship. That's not going to happen.
Okay, let's go back to Travis and just ask him. Uh, I wanted to know what he's most afraid of right now, because a big burly man with a strong temper. What are his actual fears?
What are you most afraid of right now? Getting injured, getting old, um, becoming irrelevant. He has to let her shine, right? Now that can be difficult for a lot of people to let the other person shine, but he revels in it. He loves that she's bigger than he is. Um, and he doesn't mind that. Do you fear losing Taylor? I mean, there is an element of fear about that, which is why this engagement has come around so quickly. Do you find her to be very warm and engaging and fuzzy? See, definitely not. But he's
Okay.
infatuated with her.
hmm I think a lot of people are. What does he feel is authentic about the relationship versus performance?
Hmm. What do you feel is authentic about the relationship? Well, he's very much in love, so he says everything. Um, he believes everything from his personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions. I mean, he is very much in love with her, without a shadow of a doubt.
And have they talked about maybe kids? Is that something he wants?
Have you talked about children? Oh yeah. And is that what she wants? I mean, she does too, but they're going to have to fit in as she explains it to him with like their lifestyle. It's not the world stops because I have a child. It is the child has to get on board with what I'm doing. Now, that's kind of a dangerous philosophy. I know people that are like that and their kids are quite insecure. Um, because it's the world, you've got to revolve around mom and the career and the business and whatever else. And mom doesn't stop for you. You stop for mom. Your life is catered to mom. Now, I'm not saying that these kids are not going to be very well cared for. That, of course, they would be. I feel the grandparents would be very involved in raising these children, as well as they would have nannies and things like that. But if you think that Taylor as it stands right now. And again, this is a mind probe. It could shift. She could see that baby's eyes and think, oh my God, I'm so in love. My world's going to stop. I'm done singing. I'm done. For the foreseeable future, everything revolves around my kid. I mean, that could be a possibility. But as I tap into her energy field right now, absolutely not. My work comes first. Everything else comes second, including him.
Right. So she has her priorities set. And for Travis, does he feel the same way, or is he more of a she comes first, my career second, or is he sort of career driven also?
Hmm. What is most important to you, Taylor or your career? Ooh, now he puts both of them up there as top priority. But see, he knows that at some point his career will come to an end. And it could come to an abrupt end, is what he's saying, if he gets injured, which is why that would make sense, why he has this massive fear of injury. See, her career doesn't have an ending. It's not finite. It's infinite. Right? She could go on making hits until she's in her 70s and 80s, and she could still be touring, and she will probably have crowds and crowds of people turn up, right? So her career does not have a stop date.
Does Travis have any like artistic hobbies that maybe we don't know about that maybe Taylor was drawn to, or I mean, what's the appeal?
Do you have any artistic? I think he is quite musical, quietly so, but he is musical. But the biggest draw here is he lets her get on and do what she needs to do. That that is that is the most attractive thing about him, and that he is self-made as well. But really, it's about he leaves her alone.
All right, now we're going to go a little bit deeper. This might require a higher mind probe. Have Travis and Taylor had past lives together?
Ooh, have Travis and Taylor had past lives together? Not very many, but yes, they have. I feel this
And
is sort of a new soul coupling, as in, some souls are like, oh my God, ancient. They have been together for, I don't know, many thousands of years. These two, no. How many lifetimes have you had prior to this one being together? Only about three or four, but it seems to work. Even on a soul level, they allow each other to grow independently. They don't live in each other's pockets. So, again, this is very beneficial on the soul level as well.
so there are probably not a lot of karmic debt or other problems that they have to work through having such a finite number of incarnations together, right?
So, the problem starts when he becomes irrelevant. That's when the problems start. When he starts to fade out, right? So his career is over in this lifetime, and it's the same in previous lifetimes. And then he has to go through like emotional struggles with that, for where he becomes irrelevant and she takes the lead. Even in past lives, she has been the breadwinner, where he was, the one building houses, the one farming, the one selling things from the farm, and she was the homebody, the stay-at-home mom. I don't see a boatload of kids for them. I just see like maybe one or two. I don't see there these types of soul families or soulmates that have like tons and tons of kids, especially back in the day where people had a lot of children. I just don't see that for them, what I'm looking at. But what I do see is every single lifetime he becomes irrelevant, and she takes over. It's funny that they're kind of equal power. Well, I'd say she's more powerful, but it's funny how they're very independent in this lifetime, and they're both self-made because it's really hard for him in the previous lifetime when she had to take over the running of the business or selling the goods or whatever it was. That was really hard for him. But his soul is saying, "Oh no, I've moved into a place of acceptance. I can accept that about her." The soul is conceding. The soul is defeated. It says, I accept that she is
Hmm.
stronger than me.
Wow. In like calendar terms, how long ago would their first soul contracts have come together? And have there been like times where they've been apart? I mean, did they first meet 1,000 years ago, then drifted apart, and now it's more recent in those three other incarnations?
So, um, how long ago? So I'm getting, when was the first lifetime going back? The first lifetime is like 500 years ago. And they were very poor and they were miserable. The poverty was getting them down, and they were both irrelevant. In that first lifetime, it was just trying to get through and survive. Now, as time went on, in the other lifetimes, it's they're taking on more well-defined roles. He's the brawn, obviously. She is running everything in the home. And again, he always gets injured. I'm like, let me ask his soul, are you going to get injured in this lifetime? Now, I don't feel he's going to get knocked out by an injury in this lifetime. Um, so how is he's going to leave on a high note. He's going to know when it's time to retire. He will actually be advised to retire because, professionals will see that he's starting to slow down. He's not as good as he was. And instead of embarrassing himself, what I'm getting is he will be advised to retire, and he will. But that's when, is that going to be hard for him in this? Yeah, it is. It's going to be really hard for him because then he's going to be on the road. I'm sorry. He's going to be at home and she's going to be on the road. And that's going to be difficult for him, but he still accepts it. He still accepts it. He's the type of person that buries his feelings. If something does bother him, he just keeps quiet. He doesn't really say anything about it, which would explain the eruptive anger. When you're bottling things inside and then you're not releasing them in a healthy way, yeah, you could erupt in anger. I mean, would he ever hurt? No, no, God, no. He would never hurt her. No.
Well, that's good. I think we're all feel better about that. Does he feel that what led him up to this meeting and what other relationships did Travis have that he feels led him to Taylor? Like what
In
lessons
this,
has he learned in this lifetime that he can take into this relationship?
oh, okay. So in this lifetime, not previous lives.
Right, just other relationships in this incarnation.
Okay, so what about your other relationships? Well, the women were never as powerful as he was, right? So it pretty much was they were dependent upon him, he says. Um, he felt as if he was being used and abused. They wanted money from him. They were not self-sufficient and they were too needy. And he doesn't like that at all. He likes for fierce independence, self-sufficient, powerful females. He actually needs to be under their wing, not sit there carrying other people. That's not his style.
So, are there any karmic bonds that they have to uphold, or, anything they have to do differently in this lifetime to fulfill anything from their other past previous lifetimes together?
Oh, is there any like karmic bonds that yeah, she owes him. She owes him some karmic debt. Okay, so what tell us about the karmic debt that again, see throughout the lifetimes, I mean, even in this lifetime, but back in the previous lifetime, she is not warm and fuzzy. Like she has expectations that you need to take care of your own feelings. I don't need to be a therapist. You need to sort yourself out. If you're having a problem, you need to work through it. And I work, she actually doesn't work through her problems really. I mean, she does a little bit in her music, yes. She can process and work through problems in her songs. But as far as like she I'm getting very little empathy from her, very little. So when he does retire and he starts to slip into this, you know, I'm fading out, and that's a big blow to the ego. Don't look to her to stroke your ego. I mean, that's not going to happen.
You say not warm and fuzzy then, so where does that connection come in her music? Because a lot of people connect with it and they feel that soulful resonance to it. And so how is it that she's able to tap into that if she's not outwardly projecting those emotions?
So, so do you just extend your emotions into the music? I mean, that's the only place she really feels comfortable. But when she is, look, she's very guarded. And with good reason. Being Taylor Swift, of course you're going to be guarded. She's very mindful of what she thinks, what she says, how she behaves. It's almost as if somebody's always watching her, like the paparazzi. She's even if she's in her own home, it's almost an anticipation that the paparazzi are lurking around the corner. So she's very mindful of everything she does. It's as if she's always being watched. She doesn't really relax.
The people in her inner circle, does she fear that maybe they have ulterior motives to than helping her, that they're out to sell something, or
Hmm.
is she guarded around her own personal circle?
Are you guarded around your own person? Very. Have they betrayed? Oh my God. She says, I have been betrayed, backstabbed so many times. Like they'll sell stories about her, right? And they can make a lot of money doing that. So that makes sense to me when she says that. Like she can't have those in-depth, touchy-feely conversations with people because you never know who's going to betray you. They could be your best friend for years and years and years, and the next thing you know, bam, the everything you've told them is in on the front page of the news. So she doesn't trust anyone. She doesn't even trust him.
That's my next question.
Hmm.
Well, how long will it take that to develop, do you think? And are they planning their marriage, or I mean their wedding, or is it someone else plans it for them? Does she have things she wants to see in it?
Are you planning your wedding? No, they have a ton of wedding planners, by the way. So there's a lot. And are you paying for it? Yeah, she's paying for it. See, that's what he likes about her is the fact that she just takes care of everything. He's not expected to. And he also likes that he doesn't have to extend himself to deal with her feelings and her inadequacies. So both of them are very, as we're getting into this reading, it's like, wow, they're both very like independent. I wonder how this is going to actually work. It will probably work out very well if, as long as they give each other space to pursue their careers and they're not
Hmm.
suffocating one another. But interestingly enough, every time we have tapped into her to see how she feels about him, it's never been anything spectacular. It's not, oh, I'm so in love. I can't wait to be with him. It's just that he fits in well with her life.
And what is it in her past, maybe other souls or other incarnations, that prevents her from having these deep emotions? I wonder. Is there like a trace back we could do for a previous incarnation not related to Travis, where she might have been hurt, scorned, or wounded, not just in relationships in this life, or is it from relationships in this lifetime?
So why is she so withdrawn? Let's take a look. What can you show me the past life of why she is so withdrawn? Okay. Wow. This is going way, way back. So we're looking at almost like a cricket or some sort of grasshopper type insect. She would
What?
approach, yeah, yeah. She would approach the lifetime with so much enthusiasm. And in that lifetime, as well as all the lifetimes prior to that one, she realized that it didn't matter how much enthusiasm she has for the lifetime, it still wasn't working out. It still was, um, the lifetimes would beat it out of her. They were still hard. They were still scary, uncertain. And it's at that lifetime where she just says, you know what? I give up. And part of her is a very evolved soul, because if you know anything about souls, and those of you in the CTT group will know this, we're just injecting emotions into the universal consciousness. That's kind of what they're feeding off of. And she basically, did you know that that was what you're doing? I don't even think she may have known at the time what the result would have been, but she just decided to withdraw. And I'm saying, do you understand that by withdrawing, you withdrew emotions from the universal consciousness? And she says eventually she got tired of playing the game, the reincarnation game. The I'm so hopeful, but when I get here, everything's a mess and it's so difficult. So she just withdrew the emotions.
Hmm. And how long, so that's all across her human incarnations and other subsequent incarnations, you're saying that she has been devoid of emotion, kind of, and that how many incarnations has Taylor had as a human being?
How many incarnations has Taylor had as a human being? About 300.
And for all you crickets out there listening, you too could be a famous rock star someday. Um,
That's so funny.
did she feel like, well, I guess feeling, I'm asking a feeling question, but how many of those 300 lifetimes did she feel had that same sort of fatalism until she stumbled upon, I'm going to be, I'm going to rock the music world?
So, how many
What
lifetimes?
changed?
What changed? So, the spirit world presented her with this opportunity, and she decided to take it to see what it was like. She was tired of living poor. She was tired of playing the game, the soul game. And I
Was
think
she
it's,
about to leave it?
you know what? I was just about to say, I'm getting very strongly that it's almost like the spirit world's way to inject some enthusiasm back into the life or back into the soul of Taylor Swift to make her enthusiastic. Because, see, they want you to feel, right? They don't want people that are souls down here that are numb, numb souls who are not feeling anything. They're not contributing. They're not playing the game.
Mhm.
So I think it was I'm getting confirmation now that yes, absolutely, that was the incentive for the universal consciousness, the spirit world to reinvigorate. Life can be fantastic, life can be great. Will she eventually reconnect with her feelings in this lifetime? Not on the scale that they want her to. That's a no.
Well, Spirit's able to capture the feelings of everybody else around her and the crowds that go and see her. So she's fulfilling that role, maybe not from her, but from
Mm.
the millions of people that, she's touched. Is that they're content with that then?
Oh, are you content with the fact that she is evoking lots of strong emotions through her being? I mean, they love that about her, but they also need her to feel. She numbed out at a very young age.
She
When
what
she
at a
knew
very young
that
age?
she numbed out, like she numbed her feelings out at a very young age. When she knew that she possessed the magic, and when I say magic, I'm talking about the looks, the charisma, the the voice, the talent. It was almost as if her ego took over.
What normally drives consciousness, if not the ego?
Hmm. What normally drives consciousness, if not the ego? The soul.
And so when she wrote the lyrics as a teenager to Tim McGraw, what was she really trying to convey? I can't find it now. The lyrics here. I should know them off the top of my head, but what was she confessing beyond the surface story? Is this when her feelings checked out, or was she truly feeling here?
But you know what? This is what's coming through. And I don't know all of Taylor's songs, okay? But I'm getting very strongly that most of the songs are directed at her, right? It's about what others think of her as opposed to how she thinks and feels about others, right? If you think about yeah, I'm getting that very strongly. And I mean, God, I only know probably three or four of her songs, and that's only because maybe my kids listen to them. But yeah, I'm getting most of the songs are about how others feel about her as opposed to how she feels about others. Do you write about heartbreak? I mean, she does write about heartbreak. And do you sing about it? But it's always about, you broke me, or this is how you felt about me, or this is what people are saying about me, not so much as, I just can't live without you. I don't feel that's her
Hmm.
style. Everything comes back to her, instead of where other songwriters and singers that they sing songs about other people, about how other people made them feel. It really isn't like that with her. It's about their feelings about her.
So isn't that
If that
introspection, or is that the opposite? A lack of extrospection? It's not really a word. I know that, but I
Did
couldn't
you
think of
just
the other
make that
word.
word up?
I did. Yes, it's not a real word.
Well,
Don't
I
look it up.
like it. I like that word very much. Extrospection. Um, Yeah, everything is all about Taylor. Everything revolves around Taylor. Everything is about me, me, me all the time. I'm sorry. I know fans will be out there and you will all want to burn Liz at the stake. I know. I'm sorry, but I can only give you what I'm getting. It's a
So
me all the time.
I can put this out there then. So isn't it about loving truly your own self then? And she's projecting that style and it's encouraging others out there to then love themselves like as they are.
Hmm. Does she encourage self-love in others? I'm getting a no. Not really. I
I'm
mean,
trying to turn it around for you here. I'm trying to
I know. I know you're trying to paint it in a very positive light, and I do. I want to because I do like her. She gives a lot to charities, but a lot of people will see it as just giving to charities and not looking at it for what it is, which is a tax break. But I truly believe that she does a lot for charity. She certainly donates a lot of money. Um, Hmm. I don't know how to sugarcoat it.
All right. So in their future then, in this incarnation, what do they are they optimistic for it? Are they both really happy for it? Or are they just thinking that they're putting on a show for the public? I think that's what we really want to know.
Are you both just putting on a show for, I mean, they love the show. It's good for business. Okay. So it pays very well for them to get along in public and to be the perfect, American marriage is very profitable for them. Do you have fights? I mean, they really don't have that. They don't really fight. There's no time for that.
Right. They probably don't get a chance to do much dating. I wanted to ask Travis if we could, where his anger stems from. What past life does he have, or what situation in his high
Hmm.
school life or growing up in this incarnation do his anger issues stem from?
Let me see. Where in the past life do your anger issues stem from? Always having to prove himself to his father. That's what I'm getting from a past life. And is that the same in this life? Yeah. Always having to prove himself. And why is it, even when he does prove himself, it still isn't good enough? Hmm.
What's he saying to that?
What, Taylor?
No, Travis, you trailed off at the end of the what stems from him always trying to prove himself,
Oh,
and is it
I'm
like a
sorry.
past life with his father, and why is it that when he tries it doesn't happen? Is it just his father is also cut off from emotion, maybe?
Is your father also? Yeah, very much so. It's all about physical strength and yeah, the father's definitely cut off from emotion. Mm-hmm. Which
And
is
how many?
interesting. Sorry, which is
Because right, I
interesting.
know.
Right, you know what I'm going to say because he's going right back into a relationship with someone who is really cut off from emotion. Now his mother isn't. But I feel his mother is just a very passive and lets men be men kind of mom, right? Um, Knew that her kids always had strong personalities, but the driving force was really coming from a male perspective. Um, she's very passive, and I'm afraid that when he gets into this marriage, he will also become very passive. He is very passive now.
Well, let's hope that that doesn't happen, and that he continues to be a powerful force for his football team and the future. I wanted to, I guess, in closing for both of them, how many lifetimes as a human has Travis had?
Times is he? Now he's lower. He's only about 250. Um, she's definitely a far more advanced soul than he is. I don't know, you say about you hope it doesn't happen, but I find in most relationships you really have to have one that's strong personality or stronger than the other one, and then you have to have someone that's passive for it to work. It really doesn't, you can't have two people with two very strong personalities. They will lock horns all the time. So you do need, and it does work. The dynamics do work. I wonder, will they have kids? I think it's going to be a while. I wonder how that will all change once the children are around because, children demand your time and attention. They don't really care about personality dynamics at first, certainly not. They just care about being fed and watered and, played with and loved and held, and they consume all of your time. Now, he is going to be the more affectionate parent to children than she is.
How did Travis structure this lifetime to be a famous football player, and what preceded it in his soul contract to get to this space and marry one of the most powerful people of our generation,
Um, how did you?
or
Well,
potentially
because,
marry? We're not married yet, potentially marry.
but yeah, potentially marry. You never know. The thing is, he wanted to make a soul contract with her. So in order to even be somewhat attractive, he's got to be right up there. So again, she's taking the lead. He's following. He has to become this in this lifetime, the footballer in this lifetime, in order to even attract her attention.
Hmm.
Interestingly enough, as we were talking here, I got surrogate, and I'm like, oh, is she just not even going to give birth to her children? I don't know if she will. Right now, certainly as I mind probe her today's personal thoughts, feelings, and opinions, which could obviously change, but as I'm tapping into her today, she would have to find a surrogate. She's not willing to destroy her body by carrying a child. That body is worth too much money. She can't run the risk of stretch marks and expansion, because when you have a child, a lot of times women just naturally expand. She doesn't want to do that. So they are thinking like I would have to have a surrogate, and he's fully on board with that. He's like, yeah, whatever you want. Like I see that so strongly. It's whatever she wants, and he just gives into it.
Maybe
And that's why
Beyonce
it
should leave
works.
Taylor a voice message and tell her, it's okay to be pregnant.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why this works. It's because he does whatever she wants. It just, he doesn't get in her way. He's there when she, wants to be around him, and he doesn't complain when she's not there. He does his own thing. I mean, that's why this works so well.
Well, I appreciate it, Liz. Thanks for bringing them both through and letting us know what's deep in the minds of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. We appreciate you and each one of you out there. Thanks for listening. Please share this with a friend. Like, share, subscribe, and please go give some love to Liz's Ko-Fi page. If you're not a member, go to patreon.com/remote vegan beyond so you can have access to everything else that Liz has published on the Discord.
Wonderful. Yeah, we just did a massive video on the consciousness of lack, which is for Patreon only. And I mean, my God, the amount of information in there. Our CTT group is so powerful. Like, you really should come join us. So thank you so much, Mr. Reality. You put this together. We appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate each one of you out there.